Welcome everybody to another episode of the Philly Old Head Review. Today our special guest is the athletic director and head football coach for Philadelphia Central High School. I've known him for as long as I can remember.
Right.
Life has gotten in the way a little bit, and we haven't gotten a chance to have a real conversation in a while, so it'll probably be a little bit of reminiscing during this interview. But I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce himself, and then we'll get started.
How you doing? I'm Rich Drayton, and like you said, I'm the athletic director and head football coach over at Central High School. I'm also a Central grad. Both my kids went to Central. I played football and ran track while I was there. Went to Temple. Played football there. Got a degree in business administration. When I finished over there, had some jobs that I really didn't like. I didn't like being behind the desk. A friend of mine who was the GA at Temple, was coaching at Cardinal Dock. He called me over, said, "Look, I got this receiver. I need you to work with him." That was the end of that. Once I started working with Troy, I don't think I ever looked back. Went home, told my wife I'm about to go back to school again, get this education cert. Then I went back to school and got the phys ed cert. Just always remember somebody's watching you. And people were watching me, and then they set me up with my dream job. So I became the AD over here. I coached football at schools, North Penn, Shellham, and then I came over to Central. Also coached at Wissahickon. And along the way, I did track, basketball, coaching those sports as well. The AD that was at Central when I was going there was still there when I began my coaching career. He was actually coaching my daughter in basketball. And one thing led to another. Next thing I know, I'm the head coach over there. And then I became the AD with his mentoring, Frank Greco. Just remember, you never know who's looking at you.
Right.
They saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And again, like I said, it's a dream job. I'm around kids all the time. I'm around sports all the time. Get the opportunity to talk about sports, help guide my student athletes into the right direction, and maintain contact with them once they graduate Central and they go into their college careers and then to their careers in real life and become adults.
Right. So one thing you didn't talk about that I know of is you had an aspiring NFL career while you were at Temple and something happened. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I had an opportunity to play for the Steelers. I was up there for a season. I tore my ACL while I was there. It's a long time ago, so the recovery wasn't as quick as it is now. Mm-hmm. Also, it was a coaching change. But that just let me know that I'm glad I had my degree. I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. You keep getting tryouts. In my mind, I said, if I'm not on somebody's roster by the time I'm 25, it's not going to happen.
Right.
I was just as fast as those guys could catch and run the block, just as tough. People just have who they want in mind. They want their guys. I was the receiver coach at Pittsburgh liked me. He didn't come back that following year, so I didn't come back that following year. Not because people were better than me. Everybody likes their guys. But it was a good experience. I learned a lot from the vets that were up there. They took me under their wing, told me a whole lot of things about the game and about finance and not worrying about what everybody else has. Take care of what you have. You can make the best of it. You can't live off this person's salary. You can't live off this person's salary. Only what you have and what will make you happy. So those are the lessons that I learned from those guys off the field. On the field, in the weight room, work your tail off. Play snap the whistle. And that's real, because if you stop playing or stop running in the NFL, you're gonna get your head knocked off. Those guys really not caring about you because everybody's trying to get that next paycheck. So if they can make a name off breaking you up, they're gonna tear you up. Those are the things that I learned. I try to pass those lessons on to my student athletes and to my own children as well.
Right. How would you compare today's student athletes with how we were back, during our time?
Well, first of all, these guys don't go outside and do the things that we did. We played in probably 20 degrees below zero. It was snow on the ground. We were playing. That is not happening because they stand in front of those games. They'd rather be inside. I played one time so long that my laces on my boots froze, and my mom told me to sit there because she wasn't going to do it. You know, when to come back in the house, I had frostbite on my fingers, and my laces were frozen to the boot, so I had to sit there until I defrosted. But we did that, and we did that on a regular basis. These kids don't go outside. I bet you my son can't even climb a tree. Dude, that's the things we did every day. We're definitely mentally tougher than these guys are today because we were outside and we played with dudes that were older than us, and they made sure we were tough. So when they weren't around, wasn't nobody going to pick on us. It's not the same thing. They cared about us. The older guys cared about us to a certain degree so that when they weren't around nobody else, it's not like that right now. These guys only play when it's a referee. We play anywhere. We'll go anywhere, play anybody, football, basketball, didn't matter. I rode my bike to track practice. Man, these dudes get to track practice. They want to run. And they're like, yo, mom, come pick me up. Dude, get your, what? Man, so it's just the whole mentality is different. Some of this, parents want to do better for their kids than, was done to them. So you make the kids a little bit softer. Both my parents were from the South. They didn't believe in sparing a ride. They didn't believe, like, no, don't, that light come on, you better be in the crib, and it's going to be a problem. Because you're not in the crib, when I tell you to do something, better be done by the time I get back from work. And they held us to the standards. I don't think that's the same here today. Kids get D's. Now, I taught not only phys ed, I've been in the classroom, I taught special ed, taught fifth grade, social studies and reading. Kids get D's, parents buy them $300 game consoles. For what? He ain't do nothing. His only job is go to school. And he can't do that. I can't put out that money. But we were raised different. My dad would probably drop the game out the window. What you do? Oof.
Hold up. You talk about playing football. We used to play tackle on the street.
On the street, get hit by cars.
But hold up.
Hit you into a car.
Hold up, Pretty Ricky. Talk about how you used to wear brand new jeans and then get tackled. Get a hole in the jeans, then go in the house and change them into some old jeans.
So they wear school uniform. Our school uniforms, our parents would have bought the clothes, and you're supposed to take them off before you go back outside. You come home, straight to the crib, go back outside with your quote-unquote play clothes on. I mean, they playing. I ain't got time to go change. Man, listen.
Here you go. Oh, man, I just got these jeans.
Go hide them Jones somewhere. Like that's when you learn how to wash your own clothes because you don't want her to see.
Oh, man.
I'm real quick.
Definitely, that helped us. We played hurt. We played scraped up, whatever. So definitely mentally wise, I do believe we were just a different breed. Now, we would fight.
Right.
And then we'd be playing right back with each other an hour or two later, dapping it up. All right, let's go. We played in the graveyard. We played at the
graveyard, churchyard.
We did it all.
Yeah, we played everywhere. And against anybody. Aaron brought his cousin from West Philly, but their whole team. We went right up Simons and Rumble. Let's go. Y'all want to play? We gonna play.
Right. That's right. So now we're into the 21st century. Definitely a different breed of children.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I already asked you about how's the student athlete different from when we were. Obviously you getting injured showed the importance of having an education as a backup plan. And unfortunately, a lot of kids today, they put all their eggs in one basket. I'm gonna be a athlete. I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that. And they don't see the importance of getting an education. Although I don't believe that college and universities is for everyone. You have to have something.
Gotta have a plan B.
Gotta have it. So talk about that a little bit. Because
I talk about that from different aspects. When I'm coaching, we talk about having a plan B. So say we want to attack C-Gap, we want to get outside. If that's not working, what are we going to do next? You got to have a plan B. Because if you don't have a plan B, I guarantee they're not going to let you do what you want to do. Now, when it comes to playing sports, 0.1% of everybody that plays football makes it to the league. Mm-hmm. Same thing with basketball. It's more spots in football than it is in basketball. And if you think you're that great, take a ride down south. Go to Maryland, go to Virginia, and see what those dudes look like down there. I didn't even say go to Georgia and Texas, because then you're really looking at grown men in the 8th grade. But our kids are, even though we have all that social media, they worry about the kids that's in the city of Philadelphia. Even when I got recruited, I knew it was cats in Pittsburgh that could get down. It was cats down in Maryland that can get down. And if you don't have that view and you think it's just the people in Philly that's getting recruited the same way you getting recruited, you set yourself up for failure. You gotta have that plan B. What I tell my kids is, you want to use football. Don't let football use you. Right. I'm using this as a way for me to get my degree and graduate debt free. The first thing they ask you when you go get a house is, what's your student loan look like? No matter what your name is, what you look like. You got student loans? My answer was no. I don't have a student loan. I graduated, got my degree for absolutely free. And that puts you ahead of a lot of other people that went to college and got $60,000, $70,000 worth of student loan. Now their debt to income ratio is low, so they can't afford as much house as they should be able to afford because of that. So use whatever sport you're playing to help you get to where you want to be. Don't let that sport use you up.
All right. Touch on a little bit about, that advice that the NFL players, as far as the financial literacy, having those other means and streams of income. Because I know you doing your thing, and you got to have more than one stream of income. Talk about that a little bit.
Now, when I talk to my kids about things like, you want to have passive income coming in. You also can't be worrying about what the Joneses are doing. You got to worry about what you can do, what you can afford, and not only what you can physically afford, but what you can mentally afford. For example, my wife, she can afford a whole lot of cars, but mentally, I'm not having it because I don't want all this money going into this one area for something that's going to depreciate. So you go buy you a nice fat car. Omar, what happens when you drive it off the lot?
Already loses depending on the model of the car. Depreciation goes down.
So why would you want to invest in something that's going to depreciate? Go invest in something that's going to give you some money back. Mm-hmm. So find out about that. Wherever your interest is in real estate. Do you want to buy some stocks and bonds? Do you want to get into the invested in the stock market? Where your interests are and how can you get some passive income? Those are the things that you want to talk to people about. Everybody say you got an old head. My old head tell me a whole lot of things. How long I need to work before I retire, how much money I should put up. This is one thing that they told me. They said, every time you get a raise, take that extra money and put it up. Don't spend it. Don't put it on a bill. Put it in a mutual fund and let it go for you. Because you was already surviving without the raise. Right. Why would you take that and go spend stuff on frivolous things that you're not going to get a return on? So those are the things that I listen to. And I tell my kids this too, Omar. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Why is that?
Listen more and talk less.
Listen twice as much as you freaking talk. You'll learn something. So those are the things that I've learned from being around different people, being around guys that are different ages, and people that wanted to feed into you. Everybody don't want to feed into you, but the ones that do, you need to listen to them. One of my JV coaches was a coach that I had when I was in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade. He was my track coach. And when I got the head coaching job, I needed a JV coach. So I needed somebody to get on the bus. He was a retired teacher. I called up Bert because, again, people are watching. No matter what you think, somebody's always watching. Because of the way he and I got down, he was like, Rich, sure, I'll do it. So now I'm actually putting some money in his pocket. I know my kids going to get taken care of because he did the same thing to me. When I say my kids, my JV team. So they getting, he feeding into them.
Right.
I'm helping him put some loot in his pocket. And he's helping our whole organization get better. He don't have to do it, but just because of the way he and I got down, he helped our program out a lot, nurtured those young boys, get them ready for us to come play for varsity. And he nurtured our whole staff because he's older than everybody, and we all got questions and he can answer them because he's been through the stuff that we're going through right now. So
you mentioned earlier about both of your parents were from the South, but on top of that, we grew up on a street block in Philadelphia in the West Oak Lane section where you'd better not disrespect any other parent on the block. you better listen to the rest of the parents on the block.
Because we went through it twice. Now, Miss Wells, that's trained grandmother, she worked at Penny Piper. So if you did something wrong in school, she gonna get you. Then she gonna take you home, and then your mom gonna get you. Then when your pop home, he gonna get you because your mom had to get you. That's how I grew up. So I don't know if it curbed my behavior. I got better at not getting caught. You know what I mean? Because I knew it was gonna happen. So
right.
Miss Peck, there's plenty of them. I'm not doing nothing wrong in front of her because she's gonna call my mom right away. And then I'm gonna be in trouble before I even make it to the door. And then my dad is pissed off because my mom pissed off. Like, dude, happy wife, happy life. You need to start acting up because when I come in the house, I just want to go sit down. I don't want to have to deal with the nonsense you do. So you learn either behave or don't get caught.
Yeah, I remember your dad wouldn't say much. He would just come to the door and look out.
It's time to go.
Rich, your problem was.
Listen, you know what they say about people don't talk. You don't know what they thinking. So I ain't got time. I already know what he's thinking. I'm in the crib. Yo, the ball could be in the air. It's coming to me. He opened the door. I'm out. That ball hitting the ground. I'm rolling. I'm rolling.
Yeah, man. Those were the days, man. And then you had your sister. She didn't really come outside.
She was 7 years younger than me, so what's she gonna do outside? And if she did come outside, they was gonna try to make me watch her. No, you stay in the crib. What's she gonna do? So, but she's good right now, though. You know what I mean? Got a great job. Got some kids. Even got grandkids. So she's doing well.
Running tour down North Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she all right. She didn't. But the thing about her, she used to tell me she didn't like growing up behind me because people always asked her, "Can you run? Can you do what your brother did?"
Oh yeah.
No, I don't do that.
So all right, what's the future looking like for you now? I mean, you going to ride it out at Central? I mean, you looking to possibly move up to the college ranks?
Well, to answer your question, I'm gonna ride it out at Central. The reason why I didn't pursue a job in college because you had to move your family. Like I said, my kids were at Central High School, and if they didn't get into Central, we were gonna move. So I wanted them to have stability if they pop and their mom in the crib at the same time, and didn't put too much pressure on her. I don't want her to be, pulling her hair out. Both my kids play AAU basketball. My son played football. My daughter bowled. So there was no way they was gonna get all that done if I'm sitting on somebody else's campus recruiting other kids, and my kids suffering. So that was a long time ago. I interviewed for a job and I asked them, I said, how we get to our games? And they told me, I was like, I'm cool. I'm going back home. Y'all can keep that little bit of bread. So that's it. But I'm going to ride out this Central thing. It's sweet, dude. I meet some very intelligent kids. I have kids that play for me. This is what I tell my kids, Omar. Look, y'all are very intelligent. I got dudes that want to be engineers, physical therapists. They want to go into business. Dudes want to be chemists. So this is what y'all need to do. Somebody got to be a doctor. Somebody got to be a lawyer. Somebody's going to be an engineer. Somebody got to go into business, do real estate, and y'all need an accountant. It's the same thing that LeBron didn't do, but I told my kids this a long time ago, and I still tell them to this day. So every time I need to get a crib, I'm calling you. Either you going to sell me my crib or you going to know somebody that's going to hook me up because I'm trying to get a good deal. Every time I need my taxes done, I'm calling you.
Right.
Every time I need something done to my crib, I'm calling my engineer, bro, because he's going to light it up for me. This is the boy you need to talk to get this addition put on your crib. So when you had those conversations with them, they're like, yo, y'all are too smart for y'all not to keep y'all money in-house. And they all going to get a degree.
Right.
So let's work together. Even if y'all don't live in the same city, y'all work together. It eventually happens with the guys that I played with in high school. Lawyer dudes, I call them when something go down. We have consultants, so they consult on everything. Real estate, this, that, the third. You call them when you need something. And every time these sons need something athletically or just this is going down, they call me. But I don't get as called as often as those dudes did because they have law degrees. I play with judges, man. So when something go down, I'm calling these dudes just to get their opinion. And they don't want to charge you. They just want to help you out. And the same thing when their kids come through Central. I have guys that I play with, kids come through Central. I coached one of my boys' son for 4 years. So he don't have to worry about nothing. He come to school, he know he with me, so it's just like he with family. He ain't got to worry about nothing. I want to put that into my kids' heads so that they think about, look, these are the dudes we got down with in high school. These are the dudes I trust. And when something go down, I know where to turn.
Networking.
Always
Always
day, every day.
network. So what advice do you have for looking at our city of Philadelphia? Not just the kids that you interact with on a consistent daily basis, those who come through Central High School, but just in general, what advice can you give to the youth of the city, man? Because
well, it's a couple of things that I'm trying to get done. Started a nonprofit called Coaches Against Childhood Obesity. I want to attack the way that our kids eat, and the fact that they don't get enough exercise. And I'm not trying to be sports specific, lean them to this sport or that sport. So I want to get out into the community and talk to the kids about that. I'm partnering with a chef. I got a whole bunch of people on my board that are smarter than me. And we're going to figure out ways to help our kids not become obese, because what's happening is they play too many games and they gain in weight because they eat and they're not getting enough exercise, and that put pressure on your joints. It's going to shorten your lifespan because you're not doing the things your body was designed to do. You know, we were designed to be farmers. We're supposed to be outside, cultivate, hunting. They don't do that. They play these games all day long. I'm also on the board of Philadelphia Black Coaches Association, and I'm the secretary in there, and I'm charged with helping kids with ACT and SAT prep. Me and Derek Norris, that grew up on top of Island. So those are the things that we're trying to do to cultivate these young people, get them ready to go to college, get a degree, so that you're marketable. Somebody can find a job, or you can find a job for yourself. Get outside of Philly, go see what it look like in other cities, other states. Pulling our resources together with that Philadelphia Black Coaches Association, so that the next generation of coaches will know about etiquette on the sideline, know how to reach out to these college coaches. The president is Al Crosby, and he knows a lot of people. Get on his coattails, find out how he got in touch with all these people, and what does he do? How does he help his program be successful? We just want to cultivate this city so that all our young people will have an outlet, somewhere to go, people they can lean on, talk to, get advice, and they don't have to be the dude on the street that's 25 years old being in and out of jail. That's right there. It's heartbreaking when, at 25, I'm looking to start a family, I'm trying to buy a crib, and people that look like us, once you get to 25, that's a milestone. Half the people we grew up with ain't gonna make it to 50.
Right.
So 25, I'm looking for my car insurance to go down. I made it to 25, car insurance going down. Then when I make it to 50, look, I'm trying to live my best life now. You know what I mean? I got my first grandchild. All we want to do is go get her, and we want to travel. As soon as all this nonsense over, that's all we're going to do. Right. So I want other kids to have the opportunity to do the same thing we do. By always having a plan B, realize somebody's always watching what you're doing. It might not be the person you think it is, but somebody's always watching what you're doing. When you're in school, you're going to need somebody to write a letter of recommendation, somebody to be a reference for a job. If you always clowning, you're always being that dude, nobody's going to have anything nice to say about you. Just make sure you're listening to your moms. And when you go outside, you should hear her voice in the back of your head. You're not just representing yourself, you represent everybody that's in our family. And that's the stuff that resonates in your head when you go outside and your parents constantly. I did it to my kids every day. Every day before they work, we prayed. I said, you're not representing just you represent everybody in this family. And then when you step outside that door, don't nobody love you but the people in here. So don't go out there jumping in people's cars thinking it's going to be all right. Your behind might not come back.
Right.
But you have to keep sowing into the kids and let them know this is what reality is. We got to set ourselves up for the future. We're going to be here for a while. So let's live our best life by doing the things we're supposed to do, doing the right things, talking to the right people, listening more than we talk.
What about those kids that's struggling academically because of, domestic situations? They can't concentrate on going to school. They're not eating, violence, drugs in the household. What do we say to them? Who can they reach out to for that support?
first of all, if they're going to church, see if the church got a tutoring program. Like over at Enon, they got a tutoring program. So if you need help, all you gotta do is make a phone call. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or Tuesday and Thursday. I want to set up a tutoring program where we help people with the PSSA, because kids they do well in the classroom, but then that test, it hurts them. And that's just in high school. I ain't talking about the ACT and SAT. That's gonna come down the pipe. But just to get into Central, you gotta have an 88 in the math and 88 in reading. And then you look at the kids that go to Masterman, and they killing it in the high 90s. And our kids are smart, but they're afraid of the test. They don't get prepared for the test, so they don't do as well. They could probably rock in the classroom, but that barrier they gotta get over. So I think we in education, we need to realize that and be proactive instead of reactive, and go out and reach some of these kids. Things have changed, Omar. Because when we went to Central, when we were in high school, I know you went to Girard College. When we were in high school, it was like 13, 14 counselors in Central, and they would go out to each one of the schools and talk to the kids about what's offered at Central, what you got to do. Now we got 5 counselors and 2,400 kids, so they can't get out. So we had to do outreach. We have an IB program, National Honor Society. Those kids need community service. So we're going to create a tutoring program where we can bring some kids in, and our kids that's already in the building, and be able to sit down and talk to these kids and tutor them, even read, math, science, to help them get more confidence. And then when they sit down and take that test, they can pass it. Now we can, even if they don't get into Central, now they can get in ENS. They can get into other schools, so that the education process is improved, and it opens up doors for those guys, instead of being in schools where they, the teachers and or the students around them not worrying about their future. So that's what I think of it as. We had to be proactive. We got to go out and reach these kids, even if the parents not doing it. We need to go and get them, because those are the people that's going to be living in our neighborhoods, whether we want them to or not.
Right. So I've been in my previous interviews and some of my future interviews, I'm trying to set something up with those people I'm coming in contact with, because everybody is trying to be involved in giving back to the community. As you know, I interviewed Carlton Williams yesterday. Mm-hmm. Also interviewed Dr. Masai Smith, who's active in mentoring. Spoke to Mark. I have an interview scheduled with Marcus Allen, who's the president and CEO of the local Big Brothers Big Sisters. Okay. So amongst us and whoever else would like to get involved, I don't want to wait on politicians, because they got their hands busy with other things. Right. So, you had those politicians who are active in giving back, but we shouldn't wait on them. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't wait on them, because our city is getting tore up, and there's a lot of factors behind that: gentrification, drugs, just lawlessness. So this is something that I want to want us to stay in touch with, and focus on, and stay in contact and communicate with each other about what's going on. Because as long as I'm here, I might be trying to move out of here, but as long as I'm here, I definitely want to be active in the community. I spoke with Octavius Green earlier. That was one of my first interviews with the Temple University's union president. Mm-hmm. So, all of us, hopefully we can have something in the future when this COVID thing kind of dies down, and have some type of session where we all, talk, get together, and just brainstorm some ideas where we can actually get out in these neighborhoods, not just kids that we come across, but kids that, guys standing on the corner. Come on, let's go. Let's talk. Let's see what we can do to improve your quality of life and things mm-hmm. like that. So just keep that in mind. Your brother-in-law is supposed to be a part of this channel. He busy, but all of us need to add something to this these with these ingredients to get things better amongst ourselves. Whether it's one kid or 1,000 kids, I think it's something more that we can do that we're not doing. So, like I said, keep me in mind, keep me abreast. I want to thank everybody for watching this interview. If you would like to subscribe, share, and comment below. And thank you for coming to another episode of the Philly Old Head Review.